Welcome back to ESL Pro League. We just witnessed the win for North over Space Soldiers on Mirage. It was not an oasis for the Turkish side. It seemed far the opposite. They were absolutely lost the majority of the rounds, and it was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it, Ben?
Yeah, it was very odd. It was just different. You know, considering that Space Soldiers side, we mentioned how Major likes prep, usually gets the team working in a system. However, it looks like the system has just completely gone. Like, they were playing like a mix. It was very unusual. And all in all, it just felt like it was Space Soldiers not really feeling themselves, I guess, right? There were some situations which it didn't look like they were doing the normal actions they would. And ultimately, North, they just capitalised on it, really. North didn't do anything special, by any means. They just played their regular game, and it was a very one-sided affair.
And that's the bit that is quite crazy as well, is, you know, the fact that North essentially just looked quite standard. We saw no real wild change on their CT side. At no point did they have to go for a big switch up in the play, you know, try and bring out a double upset, probably too outrageous. The only things we saw was Cadian's sort of normal stacks, which appears to be something they've kept in their playbook. Obviously, MSL, he favoured it when he was on the roster. We saw those, you know, 4-player stacks towards the site happen quite a lot. Still happening with Cadian at the helm. It worked. The gamble was actually quite effective a couple of times.
Yeah, it was a situation where they didn't, like I said, they didn't do anything special, right? They just did, as you said, the stacks, and then occasionally it was just a case of map control, right? So they just push when they feel like there's pressure on this side of the map, we'll go to the other one. And for example, like Valde, for example, pushes B-apps, gets a kill one round, then Cadian deals with that onward, he gets the bomb down. Same thing happens then a few rounds later, but Valde kills 2 in apps, gets the bomb down again. It was some recurrent errors being made by Space Soldiers, which it just can't happen at this level. That's the thing. If you have an error happen in the game, and then you fall for it again in the same game, I can understand a few weeks later, because you'll be thinking of how many other games you've played in that time. But it's the same game. Like, you've seen this error already happen once this half. How do you fall for it again?
Yeah, it is a little bit awkward. It's also the fact as well that utility usage was very, very bizarre. Let's have a look at the odds first before we break this one down, though. It is a 1.36 in favour of North. I mean, expected, obviously. Dispatch Space Soldiers, pretty one-sided there on the first map, so definitely got to be the favourites. Yeah,
that first map is what I would have given slightly towards Space Soldiers, just purely out of, on paper, the 10 players. Space Soldiers should be doing better. Train, though, I already mentioned, Space Soldiers are not a trained team. They do not have a designated AWPer.
No.
Well, Major did pick it up in that game and get 3 kills with it. You got me thinking, Cadian, how many did he get compared to that? He was probably about 12 kills maybe with it. He had a lot more impact. And you're going to a map like Train, it's always going to favour the AWPers who feel comfortable. And Cadian, I've played against him a few times on Train. He always feels very willing to play that map.
It's a map where it, you know, it does seem to be Cadian's playground a little bit. He likes to roam around a lot. We're going to see a lot of progression. That's where his confidence does appear to radiate, and, you know, he'll go for those bolder moves. And he's also backed up by a roster that, at times, if necessary, can also chip in and help him out. The same can be said for Space Soldiers, but there isn't that sort of defined player. No one that really will be stepping up each and every time. You know, it really has been passed around pretty much everyone bar Xantares that has picked up the AWP.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good thing, though. I just have to think, going into it, if we think about the utility usage, for example, on Mirage, you're missing smokes that you can't be missing. It was straight from the get-go as well. They'd won the pistol, and then from that onward, you see the mid-window with smoke misses. A few rounds later, they try and do it again, it misses again. And that means they have to change the way they play, and they must have looked, well, they looked quite frustrated. Xantares even buying one round when everybody else didn't. You've got to be hoping that they do reset. But even then, going into this, they still aren't in a good position to win it, I feel. They're still the underdogs.
Yeah, it's also hard for them, because even if mentally you do sort of reset yourself and go, all right, look, it's 2 best of 1s here, completely separate, they're not a best of 2, the risk you still run into is the fact that they did look pretty visually frustrated. And those issues there with utility, if that's on Mirage, a map that you're playing an awful lot, could we see these same issues travelling over to Train? Because surely there's got to be some kind of reason as for why, you know, they're missing a lot of these smokes right now. As a team as well, it felt like they weren't really flashing in for each other. Some rounds where they were literally just going 1 by 1, no trades at all. It was odd. Just didn't seem like the team whatsoever.
I guess the one thing they have got going for them is that there aren't many too complex smokes on Train. Like
it's all quite
if you compare Mirage, that's a jump throw smoke where you're leaning into a bin, for example. So that's, I guess if you messed that one up, fine, you've done that. Train, there's a lot of just standstill smoke, so I guess smoke-wise, they shouldn't be messing anything up. However, flashbangs, we saw Angan do it. He threw a flash into a wall, somehow missing the wall, but hitting the curved part of it. It's just like, how do you make these errors?
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's very weird. Going into Train, I just can't help but feel like North, they are very overwhelming favourites here.
Yeah. It is a map where they normally, you know, can pop off and do an awful lot of damage. You've got dedicated AWPer there in Cadian who can absolutely excel. It would be a surprising effort if somehow Space Soldiers were able to overthrow them here, as we are going to be jumping into Train. We've booked a first-class ticket but it feels like Space Soldiers won't be getting a first-class ticket to the top 7, Ben.
Doesn't look like it. If they are, it might just be a regular standard ticket during off-peak hours only.
Super off-peak, in fact.
Yeah, even worse. North, though, starting on the T side. Space Soldiers got to be thinking, we start on CT, we can get this going, we need to start early. Major, that grenade, does a lot of damage. Look at that.
That's a nice opener. That's a whole lot better. And actually, they're finding the kills as well, but Kaliax eventually runs out of ammunition, and they have been taken down. It falls into a 2 versus 2 as Enguin is able to re-equalize the situation for the meantime. Utility going to be chucked out to try and keep them at bay. Bomb is down. It's a 2-on-2. There is no Molotov on that T side, but AZ decides to just headhunt instead. Bites off more than he can chew, though. Dispatched by Paz, and it is up to Kirby now to save the day as the assassin hero into this round. One player just going to go straight up the ladder. It seems actually pushes up, then begins to fall back. Just going to cover the bomb plant instead. They don't have a kit. If he can kill the bomb planter, he can win the round.
Doesn't quite get it though. A lot of faith there again. Like Space Soldiers, they seem to be doing okay when it comes to the actual defuse situations like that. But that pistol, Major started off so strong. That grenade did about, I think it was 180 damage.
Yeah.
Fantastic way to start the round, right? Kaliax gets 2 kills from the coil. He probably could have got more, really. But then somehow it was a 3v2 in favour of North. And AZ probably should have done better with the USB he did have. But look at the buy coming through. There's an AK on AZ, but nobody else has bought. So this is... They're trusting the AK spawn here quite a bit. So it'll be a classic case of just maybe follow the AK around. If he gets kills, great. If he doesn't, he's probably going to lose the round anyway. So AZ feels like he won't mind if he does go to an SMG next round if they do lose.
There's a late reaction there from AZ. Eventually does tap down and kill Enguin as he'll hit him in the back of the head, knock his block off, and leave it into a 3 versus 3 now as AZ starts to really deal some damage. Unfortunately, he is being tagged up through the E-box and left on just 16 HP. Major as well, though, brought down to 47. It's a bit of a standoff, Ben.
Major's gone for that classic call. We see Guardian do it very often. He went to a P250 armor, though. Not quite a USP, but he still only has a sidearm. There's no primary weapon available to him. This round is quite scary. North have slowed it down a lot. Major does grab an M4, though, and they're doubling up towards... He looks like... Ooh, this call. North have done very well to slow it down and actually potentially fake without even doing anything. Really, it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
the mind games have worked in their favour massively here. It's actually going to split up as well. This is the worst case scenario now because Paz, he's isolated. He's in a 1-on-3 into this round rather than a 2 versus 3 that could be a whole lot more manageable. So goes for the full-on rotate back around. Just depends on how quickly he is going to move. That bomb is going to go down. And it seems like he'll actually get a clear plant, but Paz, with the adjustment there from the M4, rips the head off of Cadian. It falls to AZ and Kirby to try and clutch it out. Only 1 rifle left now on the 2 players on the T side, but AZ, can he slap them down with it? The AK is going to be loaded, but is he going to be bloodthirsty tonight? The slow contact push coming up. AZ so low, goes down. They tap the bomb to force the face as well, but Kirby will trade it with the Deagle.
There's no kit again.
Not a lot of time left, Ben.
It's about 5 seconds to get the kill here, unless he just sticks it.
Oh, Kirby can't be seen.
He's won the round.
That's the same. It's got to be.
That's a really awkward round to lose if you're Space Soldiers, though. You've lost 2 investments of what? 2 Deagles, P250. One of the players kicked the Glock, and just AZ's AK. He gets 2 kills into the round, and that was enough to make the difference, right? Kirby does well with the Deagle, but otherwise, you can see the money on Space Soldiers. This is where the economy changes after that change we did have a few weeks ago. You can see 3 other players on less than $2,000. Paz thankfully does have enough money to drop an M4 across, but it's very weak.
Vowed over the entry. I mean, fantastic use of the HE at least. You can see everyone took a big chunk of damage. There's a hefty bit transferred onto them. But they get the first kill. They look to try and get even more frags into this round as well. Kirby completely manhandles Enguin there towards Ivy and leaves him tied up.
Team damage. That was Kirby's nade, I believe, that landed on Cadian. But they should have known that Major was actually going around towards team main here. When Valde went back into ladder, that was just as Major was running around. It's going to be a knife kill. And an AK save as well, so that $1,500 might come into use quite well in the coming rounds. But I do like the goal from North, though. Take it straight to them. Don't give them a chance to even get settled with the weapons they do have. But But they do look like they're going to be saving 2 rifles into it. Unless Valde's able to get a move on here. He's right below ladder.
So he can hear them. It's not really worth going.
Might not be worth it in terms of money.
Yeah, it's going to be the 2-weapon save then for Space Soldiers. The AK on Major and Zantares, who will clutch on to the M4. He also had armor. But the fact is that everyone else on that roster, Ben, is pretty much at about 1.9k. They're not really in a position to actually force up around this.
Yeah, Zantares does grab a kit though. So that, you know, considering the round they lost and then pistol, he really values the kit. He realizes, okay, we're getting situations where this kit could be a huge factor in it. But it looks like the gun might be the hero. He gets the first kill, and he probably won't get out here as well. The smoke comes through. However, they've molotov the exit. He has to go through it. Doesn't take that much damage though.
No, but it's a nice amount of damage done to the other players. I mean, Paz and Kali X have both gone down there in the early firefights, as Gabe was able to get the pick off, and then AZ came through with the initial frag with his MP5, and now there's only 3 players remaining on Space Soldiers, and all of them are on that A site.
Yeah, Space Soldiers this time, the team gambling, I suppose. It's good made. Only 23 damage though, but damage nonetheless. Engen looking to try and get some information on potentially a gun, but unfortunately he runs straight into the cross of Cadian. North doing very well when it comes to playing these rounds slowly. Kind of recognise we can play it slow, they need to make the move. Cadian, I believe that smoke might actually just land straight in ladder. Getting ready to line up though, it doesn't look like he quite knows where he's throwing it. And it will go straight into ladder. Major does block it, but they get the information that that smoke has perfectly covered him away. So AZ, he was tempted by dropping down into it, but technically they can just keep the information. There is a player in there. He's stuck in there. We know that. Just bombarding with grenades. Can't really do anything. Last man alive is Zantares. It's gonna be another save for him if he can, that is. Which he cannot. AZ says no. So when I was saying Space Soldiers, they probably need to get a good start in. Winning the pistol and then getting ecoed from there by a single AK. Yeah. Not a good start.
No, that really isn't ideal, but they have been able to buy back into it at least. You could see Major was trying to scrimp and save as much as possible to actually build up the economy to then buy that orb. He now has brought it out. And it is normally such a huge set piece, and actually he might have an opportunity to use it, but it's such a close range angle, it's risky, and that's the reason why.
Having no armor with the official aid of the healer really showing. Gage does win that trade, but Kaliax, he was in the site already. This is a 2v3 now in favour of Space Soldiers. They've somehow managed to get some picks across the board to actually give them an advantage here.
So the 2 players that remain are Valde and Cadian. They're both trying to go for this split play together out on the A side. Cadian peeks in first, will get the frag, but he's quite low off the back of it. It's only now fallen to a 2 versus 2 as well, and this gamble could be the mistake. He goes back up ladder, Kaliex is there. Cadian is dubious about the fact though, holds on for the meantime.
Oh, the crouch.
Oh, caught him off guard.
Yeah, Kaliex, oh, you can see Cadian, he knew exactly what to do in terms of making the play. However, Kaliex, the difference in health points I feel makes the big difference there. And that smoke will delay things quite a bit. However, I think there is a gap though here, he can get through.
He can just walk straight through.
Actually goes for the jump through. Doesn't expect Kaliex in the shower there. Gets the kill. So 3-2 scoreline in favour of North. North will still be able to get the buy-in, however. These are winning some of the previous rounds quite cleanly. Space, so you see them just throwing guns around, not sure, trying to get the players to have the best firepower available to them. It looks like it's going to be a fast outside take by North. They're going straight from the back. Trying to catch out this player towards E-box. He has a nade out, Paz. He does stay alive for it, but surely there's not going to be much time for it.
Gade, ooh, taken down. Paz will be able to cut his way through him quite efficiently there with that SMG. Kirby keeps it going though, responds with the Kalashnikov. It is now on to a 4 versus 4. 1 minute and 20 on the clock, Ben. Cadian, quite a tasty pick. Somehow able to get the adjustment, eliminates Major. Zantares has also fallen in the meantime. And it is looking rather unstable now for the side of Space Soldiers. The Turkish team is being terminated, and it is only up to KaliX to try and bail them out of this situation. A 1 versus 3 is to go for the reload, hide behind the bomb train. They get the first contact. They can back off as well. They don't have to commit towards the A site here. They've got bomb and time.
Oh, you can see KaliX trying to be proactive with it though. He understands. Right, they've seen me towards A. I am the only player alive here. I'll try and make a big risk. I'll go towards B. If they come towards B, great. I might be able to catch them out. However, if they go A, I can just save. But this round, ultimately, you've got to be thinking that outside defense, it was very, not misaligned, but there was no cohesion between the players. Like, each player was playing for themselves alone. Right? There was no team play behind it, no trades possibilities. And that seems to be the case in this matchup so far. Even on Mirage, it was the same. It's a really big concern, because the team, normally, they've been aligned for quite a while. It's like the teamwork should be there. The chemistry should be there. But we're not seeing any of it this far. KaliX does gamble incorrectly though into this round. He did go towards B, trying to think 2 steps ahead, perhaps. But he should be able to get the save in. As it is direly needed. You can see the cash on Space Soldiers. 850 is your highest. They'll only get 1400 for losing this one. It basically guarantees a double eco, I feel. Which might see maybe a HE stack perhaps, or P250s maybe. It won't be a deep investment, I feel. Because Major appears to be trying to go for that AWP play when he can.
So it's going to be a 4th round now picked up for North. So getting themselves into quite a good position here on the T side at least, building up these rounds. And it's been costly for Space Soldiers as well. We saw the AWP investment coming out. They're trying to pump funds into this, but it just really is not working out for them. Into this round as well, it might just lightly invest around it. Seems like they will. Xantaras went for the first purchase. Everyone will now follow suit. So armor across the board. 1 UMP there on Major with full utility. KaliX keeps the AK.
Yeah, I mentioned the money not being there. But look at Caden leading the charge there. Straight into that really aggressive peak. Thing is, will they check behind the server box? They think they might have had a good enough spawn. But they get the kill anyway. And they even flipped to endgame as well.
That's the Gade factor coming through. Lovely stuff as he'll clean up the situation. The nade that bounces right into the face of Paz as well. Going to hit him in that forehead and leave him on 82 HP. So it's a 5 versus 3 now into the round. 1 minute and 19 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, North looking very good when it comes to these mid-round calls in the past few games here. KaliX does get hit by that smoke. It seems to be a common thing for North to do. They smoke off the ladder just in case. Even when they have a player above it. KaliX, the only man with a weapon, only able to get 1 kill through. And it all goes down to Major. You got to be thinking he might think of a save here. You've got no kit, not much firepower either. Kind of looking for an exit of some kind, but you got to be thinking it's unlikely at this stage.
Yeah, Major, I mean, if he can save it here, that's the best case scenario really. Probably won't get any exit frags. There's no reason they need to overextend and hunt for him, so you can get away with the UMP armor, a little bit of utility. You got, the double flashbang there, the 1 HE as well. So it's something you can try and help him out into the next round with. But it's not looking fantastic at all in their early CT side.
Yeah, it's on a map as well. I never favoured them to begin with, purely off of the AWP factor. CT is where you'll feel it most as well.
Yes.
As you need the AWP to be able to control whether it's B upper or main, even Ivy. You need to be able to control one part of the map. You can see Major kind of hunting towards his backtracks there, see if anybody is around. He'll find nothing. And Space was in the same situation as last round, really. You've kept a gun in, but you've got not enough money to even buy. If you eco now, you'll be able to get a buy next round, but it won't be fantastic. It's a very awkward situation to be in for them, because they're really facing 6-2 scoreline here. At that point, you've got to be thinking there might be need for tactical pause, perhaps. Because they should be realising, last map, if they had more rounds to play with, they could have potentially thought about a comeback.
That's the thing, they just had no buffer at all.
Xantaras got past.
Able to slide in easy. He's in the elevated boost suit and actually detect this.
If that was a better weapon, you might be thinking Xantaras gets a kill or two there.
Well, it's just the fact that potentially could have held it. They wouldn't really need to clear that angle. Whereas they should have assumed it was clear by default because of it, but it doesn't work out whatsoever. Gade, he's been very lucky with being able to get 1 frag, stay alive on quite a low amount of HP in the initial confrontation.
Yeah, he got instantly dinked as well on that killer he did get. Well, this should be able to do with England here. Just the USP. But Major's still on this B side.
Not for long.
Not for long, however. He'll be laid down on the white train. Just Paz left alive now. Hopeful of getting something, but Valde denied that completely. 6-2. North are in control here. This might be the win that guarantees their spot at the LAN finals, thinking about it. Because it's getting to that point now where, obviously, teams like Space Soldiers, who've got 14 maps played, now 15, obviously, this is the 16th. They're getting to the point where they can only, at a maximum, get 33 points if they were to win this game. You start separating that gap, you get to a situation where they will not win every single map out, because that's probability that's quite low.
Yeah.
But look how aggressive this is Cadian. Just jump straight out and AWP towards Ivy. It's working beautifully.
That's lovely as well. Very well executed. The finesse and the movement, everything came together for him, so we'll be able to find that initial pick. 3 players that now remain on Space Soldiers, and they're falling relatively quickly here. Each and every one of them going down, apart from Paz, who tries to make his last stand for the Turkish side. Pops off with 2, but Cadian will trade it back as the Danes look to dominate.
Last man alive Major once again. No kit. He has a smoke at least, but it's a big ass. 2 players relatively low, but he's already given away his position. The Molotov lands beautifully in front of him as well. Completely halts him in his tracks, and it's going to be another save call from him. It seems to be a common thing that's happening this game for them. Space Soldier is not really able to get on the board. They're not able to hold these outside rushes that North keep coming out with. The pace that they come out with is crazy good. 7-2 scoreline coming in there. When does the tactical pause come in? It has to be about now. It's very clear it needs to change something. Look at the money on North as well. Like, they've got enough money to buy for 3 more rounds, which is kind of crazy to think about. Even if they were to lose 3 in a row, they would have a buy round each time, no matter what. Scary if you're Space Soldiers, of course. But just look at the kills as well. Like, Paz has 8, Kaliax has 8. Then it's 3-2-1. Like, you've got 22 kills after 9 rounds for your entire team. And they're trusting just fast push outside. Paz, another kill. Kaliax replies. They're both players who've been doing well for Space Soldiers get a kill each, but their team do not back them up. Major still has a weapon into this round, though. But North have been so composed when it comes to playing these rounds later on that they expect this. 8-2. They need to do something different. Whether it's a tactical pause to talk things out, or maybe a double AWP even. Zantares is the man to buy the AWP. That's something we don't see. I feel like that's just a sign that things are going very wrong, when Zantares feels the need to pick up an AWP. It's a bizarre move. The question is, will North be able to capitalise that?
Oh, okay. The double drop down does work out well, but they're left with just 4 HP on Kirby there. But they've got rid of 1 player on Space Soldiers already, and this is shaping up to potentially be a knife round if they can carry on.
Yeah, North have been really strong thus far in this 2-map series when it comes to around that minute 30 to about 55 seconds left. They seem rather composed. They know exactly what they want from the round at this stage. Space Soldiers, in the other hand, already a man down. They have 2 AWPs available to them. But you can see both AWPers now, they were heading towards B, but Zantares actually runs into Major and realises, oh, you're playing from there, and turns around and has to go back towards A. But this lurk by Valde, it could be a big factor into how this actual B crunch becomes. Because if he gets killed towards outside when before they even go into B, the defense is going to be completely rocked. Here comes the push though. It's 2 AWPs. Zantares was already visible.
Yeah, his arm must have been peeking out. I don't think he realised that as well. So he's already been brought down to 49 HP. It's a 3 versus 4, so they're outnumbered, but however the players on that north side are low, and luckily Zantares kills AZ. So Kirby's still alive, and he is the man on only 4 HP. But there is a backstab coming around. They can try and go for the play. Valde assassinates the first man as Paz will be punished. Major and Xantares, the double AWP retake, they're both on the site, they're not sure where to look. They run into the crosshair of Gade, and Major, surely at this point, just concede it, just get away. You cannot afford to lose this second AWP as well.
Another save for Major, though. He was the B-site player to begin with.
Yeah.
And he's the one who lives at the end of it. It's just... I was questioning the Xantares AWP purchase, but at least he was trying to get impact. You know, he was trying to force the issue. He gets 2 kills. He's the only one with
impact at all.
Yeah, he gets 2 kills, right? He kills the AWP on lower ramp, kills Cadian, and he gets another kill towards site as well. Yeah, his teammates couldn't quite get anything done. You know, I mentioned Valde. He would have been quite a big impact on outside, but he actually went for the late lurk, got a kill outside, and then another one through Z, which he probably shouldn't be able to get the second kill in. And still no pause from Space Soldiers. They're accepting defeat here, I feel. They did see that shoulder spot there. If a player were to go on the trains, it's an easy pick for Cadian to get. However, none of them doing it. Smoke will fade. That's an easy kill for Gade as well. Paz is in ladder, but the CZ at such a distance. He does get the kill, but the trade is immediate. Oh. And this round is already over again.
Yeah, it's completely done for, surely. I mean, Major's last alive once more in a situation where he cannot do anything with the AWP, really. He got to save it again. That's the only really thing he can do. And this time around, it's going to be so much harder to save. You can already see the convergence is coming in. AZ and Valde from both angles grouping up. You might kill one, but are you really going to find any more? As now they can hear him as well. They'll peek out, they get the tag, bounce around. Could have been the no-scope. Very nearly lands it, but he will perish.
That was awfully close to landing, to be fair. So there's 28 kills now for Space Soldiers. When you think about 12 rounds, so possibility is 60 kills. They've got less than half of the possible 60 kills. In comparison, will be Valde on his own is 15. Kaliex now decides to try something new at least. He goes for an AUG. But honestly, at this stage, I'm just confused why there's been no pause. That's a beautiful smoke.
That's fine.
Although it's not really done much. Yeah. It doesn't actually get the Z bit, but it would cause confusion when you do decide to rotate. There's just smoke there.
Oh, Kirby, straight in. Given a bit of a shroud by the flashbangs. Apparently they haven't realised he's there as well, but luckily Xantares is given that X factor once more. Engin fast on the rotate. Everyone has expected this to be a full commit towards the B site. They've drawn them off A. They're going to be able to get that bomb down now as well, and Engin is lit up. As he'll be burning down to 55 HP. Valde on the rotate back around, trying to find the frags. Kaliex with the AUG has been cut down by the superior zoomed weapon.
Yeah, the superior zoomy boy, Cadian in that case. Each CT needs to find the kill nearest to them here, I feel. Cadian's ready for a player to come down the ladder. Xantares, if he goes down slowly, it's going to be... I was going to say it's going to be really bad, but Cadian doesn't get the kill. This is a winnable round. All 3 players have a kit. But Valde, he's in heaven. This is going to be so hard to get rid of him in this round. Yeah,
he's such a nuisance here on the map. It's an annoying angle, and it can frustrate you. He gets the first kill.
He has to stick it.
Is able to get the second. Xantares has got fully commit for the defuse. The kill will come out from AZ. Another round for North Bend, just racking these up. I mean, when is that going to stop? 11-2 now.
I think the worrying thing is the fact that they've not paused basically just says that this match is done.
Yeah, they're just letting it happen.
Like, if you compare it to Windigo yesterday, right? Windigo used 4 pauses in the first half. Yeah. They recognised if we're going to get into this game, we need to do it now. And even though they didn't, get into the game in that first half with the pauses, they still recognised that you need to use them. Right?
That was the only solution they had, yeah.
Space was the complete opposite, though. Not even trying to pause and try and reset momentum. Nothing. Perhaps the situation is one of those where they're just thinking, if we pause, what are we even going to talk about? We're losing firefights here. We can't fix that, other than put ourselves in better positions. And even then, there's only a certain amount of positions you can alter. It's a very deep aggression towards team main, though. It looks like they're just going to push in. There's no flashes available. They're just running in. Kirby. Obviously, you can hear them running around. That smoke. But look how Valde's got out from Ivy. There's a player playing towards Ivy. Engin, he must have spotted him at least. Because Xantares was ready for that.
5 versus 4. Waiting for this push to come around. Gade will get the headshot off, eliminates Engin. Gade as well with the double kill. The AK slaughter starting to come out. He hits some of the assault and battery towards that site. However, the trades are going massively in favour of Space Soldiers here towards the end of the half, as Kali-X will find himself a hat-trick of kills, one after another, and save the day for Space Soldiers. 11-3 now, as we delve into round 15, the last round of the first half.
11-3, but it feels like it could have very well been, 13-1 or something. This has not felt like Space Soldiers got 3 rounds on the board. I just think they won the pistol as well.
Yeah.
It's really not been a good showing from them. Uncharacteristics, they normally... It's quite rare that they get stomped in a game, too. They normally put up quite a decent fight, at least get to like the 7 or 8 round barrier.
They always try and keep it close, even if they do go on to lose the match. It's normally, a tight affair. That's why we were saying they definitely are a dark horse. They're an upset team that normally performs when they're in an awkward position, but as of right now, they're just being overthrown. They go 1 in. The 2 trades there for North as the aggression comes out from Tyrus towards the site. Should be a double kill, but that's not like him. Goes down. Valde hits him with a violence as he will annihilate every one of them, and it's up to Major now to save them and try and deny this from being a 12-3 half and try and take it as an 11-4.
Doesn't have a kit on himself, however, I'm sure there's a kit somewhere outside. They'll need to communicate that information to him. Good Molotov use, but Cadian misses the shot. I mean, they're giving him a chance here.
If Cadian dies, it's a one-on-one versus a very low player. Had time to throw the grenade, but Cadian peeks it with a Tech 9. The nail gun gonna just pin him against the wall, Ben. And that is a 12-3 scoreline. We thought Mirage was quite one-sided, but this is definitely proven to be even more dominant.
It shows that I was mentioning Train. It never feels like it's never felt like a Space Soldiers map. Purely because of the fact that they do not have a designated AWPer or someone who likes picking up the AWP, right? The only time they pick it up is when they feel like they need to. It's not like you save up for an AWP. Like you've got to play like, say, Guardian, for example. Yeah. He will be gunning for the AWP.
He wants it.
Yeah, whereas all these Space Soldiers players, they'll rather have a rifle in their hands.
I mean, that's the downside. The only map it feels like, to mine, that we really see him perform well with the AWP on is Inferno. And
that's not even a regular... I can understand you can have an AWPer who does well on that map.
Yeah.
But you can still work with 5 rifles on that map, is the weird thing. But on a map like Train, you need an AWPer. If you don't have an AWPer, you will get abused across the map through their AWPer just taking advantage. Cadian's not had to do much this game, purely because he hasn't had to take an AWP battle. And the other time he did, actually, Zantares did beat him to it as well, quite funnily enough, like a player who does not normally pick up an AWP. Space Soldiers needs to come out with something absolutely ridiculous in this second half if they want to have a chance, even.
Yeah, it would have to be really quite strong and blow their opposition away. I don't really feel like we're going to be seeing that though, Ben. It seems like this would be North really keeping up this consistency we're seeing from them. It's good form to find as well because they want to try and prove that this roster can do damage. Obviously, walking into the LAN finals, they've been very happy with Cadian's addition to the squad and what a story it would be for his transfer to allow them to then make it to the LAN finals.
So, Kali-X has bought a Molotov but given a P250 to Major. Normally you'd see the other way around on those situations, wouldn't you, in terms of the drop. But he's used the Molotov towards Z. Clear on X though. Valde should be able to get a free kill and he stops the plant and plays it, and he gets the kill as well!
Oh! Nearly the third. He will go down as ferocity has been ended for the meantime as this absolute contest for the B side continues. Major pops the head off of Gade and it all comes down to Kirby to be the instinct killer he can be. Left in a 1 versus 2. That Molotov was used. They can't try and use it to win the round if he jumps on a bomb here. He will try and push up. Cheeky headshot eliminates Kali-X and it's all up to Major.
Smoking kit for Kirby. You got to be thinking this is his round, right? Although he hasn't been told, nobody's telling him he has a smoke. Finally he gets it out, taps it again. You've got to assume if he's picked up the smoke, he's probably sticking it. He'll have the kit as well. He's taking quite a while to do this, he has to stick it now. Major, he made the error before where he just went in smoke and only right-clicked. Instead, he gets to defuse. Major again, falters on a round like that. A round he should be winning.
That's rough. It felt like, Kirby kind of misplayed that as well. It looked like
it was over. He took way too much time to actually try and sort the situation out. But Major apparently misplays it further.
I get that's another tilt round as well. That's one of those where you're frustrated you've lost it, especially as the opener in the first half. Looks like they are a bit delayed coming out.
Major's been stabbed by someone.
There's been an altercation over in the T spawn there.
Some grievances being aired, I think. I think that's not even a stab damage either. Normally it's about 30 damage. That might have been like a dink with a Glock or something.
Someone just shot him in the air.
Apparently, I don't think it was a stab. Okay, it does give the information that he's playing in there. A nade will come out, won't do anything there. Other than displacing temporarily in the Xantar, it takes advantage like that. Very good move from him, very good solo play. Amazing. Engen unfortunately drops into his death.
Straight into the spider's web there of AZ.
Look at Major's move though, he's actually got out towards Olaf and now furthering it up. Kirby will not expect a T-side player to be this far up. He can get a good backstab onto two of these outside players.
He can, but the risk he runs is the fact that he's already quite low. So timing is absolutely everything for him here. He's going to be detected, and that's the difference. Cadian, a couple of chest shots there with the MP5. Well. It's all crumbled to nothing then.
Small errors making the difference here. They got the opening kill. Engen, he's not had a fantastic game, has he? He's 1-16, I believe. But ultimately, the fact that Paz was able to get a kill there, I'm quite surprised. It feels like he should have done much sooner. But that's a round where they've got 3 AKs. That's a dream, though. Normally, you only get the 2 AKs and then one player with like a UMP or something. They had 3, and they couldn't really get anything out. And they're buying straight back into it again. They recognise we need to get into it as soon as possible. Let's see how long it takes for them to actually decide where to give the guns, though. Much quicker this time out the gate compared to the last. 2 Galils and an AK is not actually that bad.
And what are they actually going to get up to into this round is the question. I mean, they have a little bit of utility to help them out. One of the smokes has already been dashed out. Looked like KaliX threw that over towards the A site, close towards bomb train.
So as you mentioned, limited utility. They use 1 smoke to start off the round. They do have 2 more available to them. Make that now 1 as Major uses his. But Xantar, he's out towards E-box. You could argue on his own. The trade does come through from KaliX though, and he gets another one as well, but he is quite low.
It's lucky to actually find the follow-up there as well from that position. Kirby waits by Ivy. He now knows the location of Major, spams through the smoke when he feels like the time is right. Will be able to get that kill. Falls back into the 3-on-3. Cadian assists there as they power their way through Paz and punish him. Now it just comes down to KaliX and Engen. The duo does work together off the back of the first flashbang. They re-flash it again, but it's all on KaliX now. And can he really be the man to secure victory for the side of Space Soldiers, or is this going to be North getting a 15th round? KaliX kills Kirby, looks for more, peeks out but goes down. Cadian on top of the stop sign will deny any comeback and get a 15th round for North, Ben.
North in a very good position. Every player getting kills when they need them to as well. It's not as if a player is doing poorly. You can see the spread there. 12 kills to 19 is the spread on the North side, whereas you could cross the Space Soldiers. Engen's only got 2 kills.
Yeah.
He was one of the outside players as well. He was playing towards Ivy, and he wasn't really able to get much done. I mean, he was 1-14, I think, at the actual half. It's not been a good one for him. Space Soldiers back in with a buy there. Even less utility now than there was before. And well, that aggression, that's ridiculous.
He's keen for it, apparently. There's absolutely being displayed a little bit of dominance coming out from him there as he gets quite aggressive. Xantares will trade it back with a headshot onto Gabe though. Does fall into the 4-on-4. AZ very low, but trying to make the best of a bad situation. The little crotch shot comes through, and he'll stay alive in the meantime, Ben.
Valdi, the B player though, he is playing to actually play retake here. He will take a shot towards the cross though. They do smoke, but the Molotov will probably slow down the plan. If not deny, although they get on top. So they've done quite well there. Valdi is just going for the bush straight through the smoke. Very bold move again, and actually North have to save. You know, you can see the money, it's not great.
No, there's not indeed. A lot of confidence being displayed at the very least.
It's a lifeline at the very least for Space Soldiers, but you've got to be thinking, are they going to be able to do that 11 rounds in a row?
Well, it's just, you know, it's the odds being way too stacked against them, really, that it is incredibly unlikely they'll be able to keep knocking these rounds out. It's just a matter of time until North can really pick it up and close it down, and I can only imagine that would be the case. Cadian clutches onto the AWP as well, which has overall been quite an effective piece for him. Definitely a weapon he can excel with as well.
If you think about how they play the CTE side as well, you mentioned the gamble stacks. If you start losing, say, 7 more rounds in a row with North, you'll be doing a lot more gamble stacks purely because at some point you're going to get it right.
It's going to work, and then you'll win.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You only need 1 round. But to get to that point, though, you know, Space Soldiers would have to get a lot of rounds on the board, and the momentum would swing. And they're actually just going for a straight outside rush, and Cadian, he kept the AWP, and that's already an intrigue of, what, 10 seconds into the round? It's not a good start for Space Soldiers whatsoever. Oh, easy. He had a gun saved as well. He just doesn't get a chance to get in there. Although Gage, even though he's low, he does get a kill. Paz is very low on the other side of things as well. Space Soldiers not as composed as North when it comes to these mid-round decisions from this matchup. Kirby does have armor as well. Kaliax, he's looking really good thus far.
Yeah, he's woken up, come back into it, absolutely decimating his opponents now. And for Valde, you're left in a 1-on-3. You won't get too much going, but if you can try and whittle them down, force some cash out of their hands, that won't be too bad. Try and restrict these buys as the rounds progress. Oh, all right, gets that first kill as well, apparently. If you could scurry out of there with a gun, this would still be pretty tidy for him.
Soltaris does deny that, and he grabs the AWP as well. So North, facing an eco around here, delaying that victory perhaps just a bit longer. Kaliax, the man with a 3k that round, landing the crucial kills. He got the kill towards, I believe it was Cadian, and then AZ as well. Both of the guns that were saved. North not investing really anything into this. There's 5-7 on Gade, P250, and a HE on Valde. Everything else can say that HE grenade goes straight into main. It looks like they're just going to try and swamp the Major if they can. Kaliax is there to back him up. Very simple round for Space Soldiers actually there. It doesn't really matter if you weaken the economy of Space Soldiers this point either for North, because if you do weaken the economy, sure, they'll have a lesser buy. But it won't be that much different.
No, it's one of those as well where it literally just comes down to win the game at this point. The economy really is sort of, you know, at one point the bigger picture, but it isn't anymore. Now you're left in a situation where all you need is one round to physically shut down the game, take the series, walk away with the 6 points. That's all they're going to want. Cadian, no utility into the round, but his teammates do have some to at least back him up and give him a bit of an edge. This time around, Space Soldiers grouping up above Pop Dog, trying to make a play towards the B site, it seems.
And I mentioned the gamble stacks. There's no players towards B for North.
No.
The longer this goes, they need to get some information. The more likely situation is you'll get information towards Ivy, I feel. Whether it's through leaving Kirby there or Cadian will simply just rotate off, leave him quite far in. The Mortar will delay the push for where to come. And Gade does arrive as well. He can actually flash the ramp or smoke it too. Flash going to come in just as they push the wide!
Oh my goodness, Ben, they had no idea. They go in, they still get the 1-for-1 trade, but it's a little bit of damage transferred across as well. Now Gade realizes what is going on because there was so much commotion caused, the devastation from Gade, as they'll find the headshot and leave Paz lifeless. It falls now into a 4 versus 3. The backstab coming around slowly as well from Kirby, as he wants to be an absolute killer into the round. And Gade gets up close and personal, finds one, does it all on his lonesome. Support there from Cadian to actually eliminate the last man with the sniper shot, and that will be the victory. As the defuse will come out, 16-6. North will take the second map and they will win the series. Both maps going their way. That is a full 6 points over Space Soldiers.
Yeah, very strong showing from North, but ultimately the talking about has to be the Space Soldiers, right? That's a team that we normally would consider to be pushing for the top 7 sort of positions. Now losing in that way to North, who I wouldn't say they're a favourite to be, you know, pushing for that top 4 spot, but they currently are in that area. 16-6 and 16-7, like, you can't be losing like that to some of these teams. It's not a good showing at all.
No, it's really quite rough, and I don't really know what sort of happened there with Space Soldiers. In the first map, it seemed like it just wasn't them. Second map, very slow start, found their footing towards the end, but no one really performing. I mean, Engin having a very slow game through and through. It was just pretty much off from the get-go.
It was very disappointing because we were talking about the X factor, like Santaris. At some point, he has to have a game that's really good. They start off with some tech issues to find. You should be able to power through that anyway. But Mirage, it just didn't look like them. They had situations where they didn't really know what to do regarding calls. They were just running around, not sure what to do. And Train, they just couldn't get into the game, right? North looked really good on the T side, to be fair to them. And ultimately, fantastic performance from North.
Yeah, well, the North is here, and they're here to stay. 6 points wired to their bank accounts as they will get themselves in a very tidy position this far in terms of the standings. That is the first series wrapped up, though. However, there is more to come. Keep it locked as we're back with our second series after the break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.